Why is it that the longer a man is single, the more powerful he becomes? What is it about solitude, silence, and space that sharpens a man's mind and forges his spirit? In a world obsessed with constant connection, dating apps, and social validation, the Stoic man walks a different path. He chooses stillness over noise, depth over distraction, and discipline over desire. And in that choice, something extraordinary happens. This is not about loneliness. This is not about bitterness or fear. This is about transformation. Let's explore the powerful Stoic truths behind why prolonged singleness can be a sacred time for a man, and why it often makes him stronger, sharper, and ultimately more fulfilled. 1. Solitude is the forge of self-mastery. The Stoics believed that the greatest battles are not fought against other people, but within ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When a man is single, he's given the rare opportunity to confront his inner world without distraction. There is no partner to project his flaws onto, no one to validate or complete him, only himself. It's in this solitude that the real work begins. He begins to observe his thoughts. He questions his impulses. He confronts his fears. He disciplines his emotions. While others might rush to fill the silence with companionship, the Stoic man embraces the silence, because he knows that only in silence can he truly hear himself. This is how self-mastery is born, not in comfort, not in chaos, but in conscious solitude. 2. Freedom of time equals freedom of mind. When a man is single, time becomes his greatest asset. He is not bound by emotional obligations, relationship drama, or the compromises that come with coupling. And this is not a selfish thing. It is an empowering one. He can structure his day with intention, rise early, read, meditate, train the body, sharpen the mind, build his craft, pursue his mission. The Stoics taught that a man should value his time more than gold. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The single man has time, and with it, the sacred space to become who he was meant to be. While others spend their time negotiating desires or fixing failing relationships, he invests his time into something greater: purpose. 3. Emotional clarity without attachment. Let's be honest, many men lose themselves in relationships. They begin to compromise on their values. They seek approval. They attach their worth to the attention they receive. But the Stoic man understands. Attachment leads to suffering. Epictetus taught that nothing external should control our peace of mind, not even love. He said, "You become what you give your attention to." By remaining single, the Stoic man reclaims his emotional independence. He learns to validate himself, sit with discomfort, face rejection without resentment, love without attachment. He does not chase validation. He does not fear loneliness, because his peace does not come from a woman, it comes from within. 4. Rebuilding the masculine core. Too often, modern relationships pull men away from their masculine center. They abandon their mission to chase affection. They trade strength for approval. They suppress truth to avoid conflict. But in his solitude, a man can reconnect with what makes him a man: strength, discipline, vision, direction. These are not outdated concepts. They are timeless truths. The Stoics believed that virtue is the highest good, and for a man, the cultivation of masculine virtue requires space and silence. The longer he is single, the more deeply he can reconnect with this core. He doesn't ask, "What does she want me to be?" He asks, "Who do I choose to become?" This shift makes him powerful, because he's no longer bending, he's building. 5. Clarity of desire over impulse. One of the greatest benefits of singleness is clarity. A man no longer chases every attractive woman. He begins to question his impulses. Why am I drawn to her? What am I really looking for? Do I want connection or just distraction? The Stoics didn't deny desire, they mastered it. Seneca said, "He who is not a slave to his desires is truly free." In prolonged singleness, a man begins to rise above lust, not because he suppresses it, but because he sees through it. He understands that beauty is common, but character is rare. He values depth over drama, truth over temptation. He no longer chooses women from a place of emptiness, but from strength. 6. Power through detachment. The longer a man is single, the less he fears being alone. And this is powerful. Because when you're no longer afraid to lose something, you stop being controlled by it. Most men settle in relationships out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of judgment. But the Stoic man understands that fear is the enemy of freedom. Through solitude, he becomes detached, not cold, not indifferent, but free. He doesn't need a woman. He chooses one, if and when it aligns with his mission. And if she walks away, he lets her go, with peace, not pain, because he has already built a life that fulfills him. A man like this is unshakable. 7. Space to discover purpose. One of the most overlooked benefits of singleness is space, the mental and emotional space to discover your purpose. Relationships, especially immature ones, can consume a man's energy. Arguments, insecurities, and emotional labor drain the very fuel needed to build something meaningful. But the Stoic man uses his singleness as a sacred time for mission. He writes the book, he starts the business, he travels with intention. He asks, "Why am I here? What is my calling?" Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The single man cultivates that power. He does not see his singleness as a curse. It's a gift of direction, a gift of becoming. 8. He becomes more selective and more respected. As time passes, the single man becomes more selective, not out of arrogance, but awareness. He no longer tolerates disrespect, drama, or emotional immaturity. He does not compromise his values just to have someone beside him. He asks, "Is she aligned with my path? Does she bring peace or chaos? Can she walk with me, or will she slow me down?" This selectiveness builds power and respect. People begin to notice that he's not easy to sway. He's not easily seduced, not easily manipulated. He has standards, and he keeps them. This is rare in today's world, and that rarity makes him valuable. 9. Depth over distraction. Many relationships are built on distraction, temporary highs, physical attraction, or the fear of being alone. But the longer a man is single, the more he begins to crave depth. He doesn't want surface-level interactions. He wants meaningful conversations, aligned values, shared vision. He's not interested in women who only bring looks. He wants those who bring peace, intelligence, and character. Because he's built depth within himself, he now expects it in others. And when he finally chooses someone, it's not out of lack, but abundance. It's not a distraction, it's a decision. 10. He becomes a fortress, not a seeker. The single Stoic man does not chase love. He becomes love. He doesn't beg for attention. He commands respect. He doesn't run after women. He becomes a man women are drawn to because he's rooted, present, and powerful. He is a fortress. He is self-contained, emotionally stable, and mission-driven. And that energy, it's magnetic. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's unignorable. because true masculinity doesn't beg, it radiates. Final thoughts. Singleness is not a pause, it's a path. To the man who has been single for months or years, understand this: you are not behind, you are not broken, you are not less of a man, you are walking a path that few have the strength to walk. You're not filling your time with distractions, you're building a foundation, and every day you spend alone, in peace, in purpose, in practice, you become more powerful, more stable, more grounded, more discerning. The Stoic path is not for the weak, it's for the wise. So use your solitude, sharpen your sword, master your mind, and when the time comes to open your heart again, you won't be choosing from need, you'll be choosing from strength, because the longer a man is single, the more powerful he becomes. Embrace the solitude, build in the silence, and remember, the world needs more men who are whole before they are held.